Hello, my Bob blowers and module masters, and today I am here with another Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes modded module tutorial, and today I am here with the module 3D Tapcode. 3D Tapcode is like Tapcode, except just a little bit more. As you can see, the letters are in a 3x3 cube as opposed to a 2x2 table, and the word list is also in a 3x3 cube. This looks very menacing, but this is not as bad as it looks. Let's go ahead and get started. This module does not require... Actually, it does require the serial number. I have the intro cut on and infinite bombs, so we will have different bombs with different serial numbers. Okay, so here's the module. It's cornflower with nothing on it. Just like in a regular tap code, we're going to hold the button, hold the module, and we're going to get a triplet of clicks for a 5-letter word. So 5 triplets of clicks. Unlike tap code, these clicks can only come in sets of 1, 2, or 3, and we have 3 clicks per letter because there are 3 axes: the horizontal, the vertical, and the diagonal. So first things first, let's go ahead and get our read. And we have our read. So, what do these triplets mean? The triplets mean that we're going to index into all 3 of the horizontal, diagonal, and vertical axes, with the first axis being indexed by the first number. So for this, it's going to be the 2. So if this was the first axis, we look here. If the vertical is first axis, we look here in this row. And if the diagonal is the second axis, we're looking in the second cube, which is slightly lighter than the first cube. No, the first layer, sorry. And then for the second character of the triplet of taps, if it was the horizontal axis, we look at this column of letters. If it's the vertical axis, we look at this row. And if it's the third layer of letters, we look at the outermost layer in the lightest shade of gray. So how do we know which number corresponds to which axis? That's the thing. We don't. We have to figure out the order in which the axes are being transmitted. The transmission order will be the same. So if this was transmitting the horizontal, then the vertical, then the diagonal, it's going to transmit that for the entire word. It's not going to go like, oh, you got S for your first letter. Now I'm going to give you vertical, horizontal, diagonal, and make your life worse. So it's going to give you all of the letters in the same axis order. So let's go ahead and write down all of the possible orders in which the axes can be transmitted. So we have hotel for horizontal, Victor for vertical, and delta for diagonal. Let's start indexing into the cube. Now, for the first letter, all 3 of the triplet numbers are unique. So none of the letters here, none of the axes orders here, will result in the same first letter. So we have horizontal 2, vertical 3, and diagonal 1 gives us a hotel. Horizontal 2, diagonal 3, and vertical 1 gives us a Sierra. Moving on to this. Vertical 2, horizontal 3, diagonal 1 gives us a Foxtrot. Vertical 2, diagonal 3, horizontal 1 gives us a uniform. Diagonal 2, horizontal 3, and vertical 1 gives us Lima. And then finally, diagonal 3, diagonal 2, vertical 3, and horizontal 1 gives us an Oscar. So these are going to be our potential first letters for all of the words. We can look in the word list to see if there's any words that don't start with any of the letters, but I believe X is the only letter that doesn't have a word that starts with it. Even Z has one. So we're going to move on to the second letter in the word. Now notice that the first two numbers are the same, meaning for any triplet of axes that have the same first two axes, so for example, this one has horizontal and vertical first, as does this one, meaning these two sets of axes will have the same second letter, since these two are interchangeable. So we're going to utilize that when looking for the second letter. So we have horizontal and vertical 3 and the diagonal 1. So horizontal and vertical 3, diagonal 1 gives us India for both of these. We can now look in the word list to see if there are any words that start with these two first letters. So HI, we have hippo, so this is still an option. FI, we have fists, so this is still an option. Now we're going to move on to this. And the other one that has delta and hotel as the first two letters, this one is going to have the same second letter. So horizontal and diagonal 3 with a vertical 1. So horizontal, diagonal 3 with a vertical 1 is tango. Now it's going to be hard-pressed to find a word that starts with lima tango, and as we see, there is not one. Meaning that this is no longer a possible set of axes that the word was transmitted in. However, there probably is an ST word, in fact there's quite a few, so we cannot eliminate this yet. And then finally we're going to take these two, vertical 3 and diagonal 3 with a horizontal 1. So vertical 3, horizontal 3, and a diagonal 1 gives us an X as a second letter. Any UX words? Nope. This is not possible. Are there any OX words? No, this is not possible. So now we are left with 3 possible sets of axes. Now, for the third and fourth letters, notice that they are the exact same. Meaning that no matter what order that we have the axes transmitting in, letters 3 and 4 are the same. Now, like last time, we can interchange any trio of axes that have the same first and last letter, but unfortunately, all of them have different first and last letters, meaning we have to test all of them. So, first off, we have horizontal and diagonal 2 with a vertical 3. Horizontal 2, diagonal 2, and a vertical 3 gives us a papa. We do have an HIPP word, so this is definitely still an option. We have horizontal and vertical 3 with a diagonal 2. So horizontal and vertical 3 with a diagonal 2 gives us a Q. This is clearly not a word. And then finally, vertical and diagonal 3 with a horizontal 2. So vertical and diagonal 3 with a horizontal 2 gives us a Y, which means that this is not possible, so we know that our order of transmitted axes were the horizontal, then the vertical, then the diagonal. We can test this really quickly. If we get an Oscar for this, using a horizontal, vertical, diagonal, then we know this is our order. So horizontal 1, vertical 2, vertical 3, and diagonal 2 gives us an Oscar, so we know this is our order. Now, I'm going to take the first 3 characters of the serial number. We have 1, 23, and 8. You're going to change any letters to their alphabetical positions. We're going to modulo them all by 5, which just means subtract 5 until the number is lower than 5. So 1 is already lower than 5, 23 minus 20 is 3, and 8 minus 5 is 3. Now, we're going to assign these 3 numbers to the first, second, and third axes in order. It is important that you keep the order. Now, we're going to find our transmitted word in the table, and we're going to move along the first axis, however many times we got for the first number. So we're going to move 1 space along the horizontal axis, which is going to the right. So we go from hippo to spawn. Now we're going to move 3 spaces in the vertical axis, which means we're going 3 spaces upwards. So we loop around to the bottom, to white, then to house, then to cater. And then finally, we're going to go 3 spaces along the diagonal axis, which is going from the front to the back. We're going to loop from the back to the front, which is 1, 2, 3, which means our transmission word is clout. So now we're going to change the word clout into 3D tab code using this diagram. So Charlie is third on the horizontal, 1 on the vertical, and 1 on the diagonal. Lima is 3 horizontal, 1 vertical, and 2 diagonal. Oscar is 1 horizontal, 3 vertical, and 2 diagonal. Uniform is 1 horizontal, 2 vertical, and 3 diagonal. And then finally, Tango is 3 horizontal, 1 vertical, and 3 diagonal. So now, we're going to press the module 3 times, then wait for a click. Press it 1 time, wait for another click, press it 1 time, wait for another click, then 3 click, 1 click, 2 click, so on. This is the same as tap code, and the module will submit the word that you have submitted once you transmit the last letter. So let's go ahead and do this. I should probably unmute so you can hear my button clicks. So we have 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 3. And that is a solved module. Let's do one more.
All available experts, please report to room A9.
I'm going to mute and get the read for the module. Honestly, I think we just got the same word twice in a row. Because these 2 letters are the same. I believe we had... Yeah, we just got the same exact word 2 times in a row, which is kind of ridiculous. So, we don't need to do the decryption step at all. We know the word is hippo on the horizontal, vertical, diagonal axis. That is incredible. Alright, so... Now we're going to take the first 3 characters of the serial number, 11, 12, and 4, modulate them by 5, assign them to the axes in order. We're going to move 1 space on the horizontal axis to spawn, 2 spaces on the vertical axis to house, and 4 spaces on the diagonal axis to dimly. Now we're going to translate dimly using our coordinate system, horizontal 1, vertical 2, diagonal 1. Horizontal 3, vertical 3, diagonal 1. What's our word dimly? That is horizontal 1, vertical 2, diagonal 2. Then, where's Lima? It is here, horizontal 3, vertical 1, diagonal 2. We've got a space here. And then finally, Yankee is horizontal 2, vertical 3, diagonal 3. Let's input this. 1, 2,
Emergency cleared. All personnel,
1,
please return to your stations.
3, 3, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And that is a solved module. Apologies for the absolutely wicked coincidence, but I don't plan these things. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.